Truth always manages to find a way. However, nobody anticipated that Tasha K would drop this bombshell. In a shocking turn of events that is upending the fundamental basis of hip-hop and love in Atlanta, Tasha K has formally entered the DNA drama, and her recent revelation has fans in shock. The DNA test purportedly disproved Mendeecees' paternity for Erica, according to the queen of contentious receipts herself. A manufactured production trick was all that Mena's baby was. Fa was aware of the entire situation. Yes, exactly. The camera zoom, the envelope, and the emotional responses. It could all have been a ploy to shield one of the most contentious husbands on the show. And now a lie that Mena may never have consented to is dragging her name through the mud, with VMI's backstage footage and an audio recording that sounds suspiciously like a terrified VH1 executive pleading with her to keep silent being made public by Tasha K. The internet is growing rapidly. Were the Mendeecees aware? Was Yandi a part of it? And why hasn't Erica spoken up yet? This scandal is going to blow up, so hold on tight. What you believe to be true is going to change. A sigh that wasn't intended to be captured on video opened. After filming her final confessional for the final season, Mena had just left the set. Her eyes were bloodshot from suppressing tears, and her voice was raw from hours of retakes. However, someone in post-production realized that the microphone was still hot. She didn't want the world to hear what she muttered to herself. However, that subdued, silent sentence is now the focus of a media frenzy. They told me the test was fake, she had stated. I was forced to read a lie. At the time, nobody understood what she meant. Not until the release of Tasha K's video. Tasha's headline appeared, fans awoke to mayhem. It was more than a mere tirade. One, and an unmistakable fire in her voice. To be honest, she started drinking her wine as if she had just discovered that the DNA test had been rigged. They were aware that they had broadcast the incorrect outcome. VH1 and Mendeecees were aware, and they gaslit Erica into silence. Clips was like a wildfire. Every fan page, blog, and disorganized Twitter thread was on fire in a matter of hours. Fraud was popular once more, but this time Tasha's receipts were included in the audio leak. Panic came from a voice that sounded uncannily similar to that of a production assistant. The voice continued, "They'll find out." On the B-roll is Tasha. With the other envelope, she has the video. A second voice answered, "We can't let ruin the reunion." Fans were already putting the pieces together. The show had felt hurried when Erica opened the envelope, and her response was phony. Now, Mena added, "Damage control." Tell her it was a storyline. Say it was scripted. Tasha didn't stop there. Later that night, she went live again and revealed the real bombshell. A screenshot of a conversation between a VH1 producer and someone saved on her phone as MK. The producer asked, "Are we okay with the alternative ending?" In response, MK said Erica believes that to be true. The second cut escaped her notice. "Tell her, please." We are currently reviewing. In the Love and Hip Hop Cast group chat, things had already begun to fall apart. Bambi abruptly left the group. Rashidita posted a mysterious message about not being involved in fake TV, and Yandi went silent. That text alone ignited the internet as fans demanded to know who MK was. Speculation ran wild, with some claiming it was Mona Scott-Young and others Mendeecees' manager. The one person who didn't flinch, didn't back down, and didn't try to spin. The story was Erica, who posted a single photo on her story with no caption, just a screenshot of a text message from last year, with the words, "We need you to reshoot the result reveal." This silence was shocking for someone who usually posted affirmations and family photos every day. And people began to wonder if she was hiding something, or if she was finally realizing she had been played. Be sentimental. Consider treachery. It was followed by a response that only stated, "But the test says positive." Additionally, The rest was handled by the internet. Fans compared the text with the date the DNA scene was shot, and it was quickly determined that a reshoot had taken place. If the test was indeed positive, then everything they had broadcast was false. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was nowhere to be found, not online, not on set, and not even in New York, where he was supposed to be doing a press junket for another project. There were rumors that he had checked into a wellness retreat in Arizona, and some unverified reports claimed he was struggling with the emotional burden of the situation. While all of this was going on in public, a war was going on behind the scenes, with Erica's lawyer allegedly sending a cease and desist letter to VH1 demanding access to all footage related to the DNA segment, and Tasha hinting in her second video that legal action was not only possible but already in motion. Fans bombarded his Instagram with comments demanding answers, asking if he was involved in the cover-up, if he truly believed the baby wasn't his, or if he simply followed VH1's instructions. Tasha's single quotes as evidence also included a brief clip from what appeared to be a rehearsal take, in which Erica is seen holding the envelope, looking off camera, and someone says, "Okay, we'll try this again." They played with her name, her motherhood, and the identity of her child for views. And she wasn't wrong. That episode had the highest ratings of the entire season. And the DNA reveal had been marketed as a season finale twist, and now it looked like it was all phony. Boost the intensity a bit. Erica hesitates, then the camera cuts. But just before it does, she's heard saying, "This isn't right. There's something wrong with this." The reaction from fans was overwhelming. Petitions were made demanding VH1 release the unedited footage, and Twitter Spaces ran for hours with fans debating whether Mena was the mastermind or just the messenger. Others speculated about the network's liability, wondering if they could be sued or if the show could be canceled because they knowingly aired a false test. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. It wasn't just a fake result, but a directed performance, one that Erica was obviously uncomfortable with. Another twist occurred when a former VH1 editor anonymously contacted a blog to confirm that two versions of the DNA scene had been cut. One in which Mendeecees was confirmed as the father, and the other in which he wasn't tested, both with internal focus groups. The editor claimed that the version in which he wasn't the father performed better, with more drama and more emotion, so that's the one they aired. That one comment sparked a new wave of outrage, with fans accusing VH1 of prioritizing shock value over facts and ratings. "I trusted them. I let them into my life and they told me being honest would be enough." But it never was. Erica started filming herself again, this time for her own documentary series rather than VH1. In one clip, she sits by a window with the original DNA test in her hands and says softly, "I knew the truth. I just didn't think they'd go this far to erase it." Her voice cracks. In less than 10 minutes, the video of Erica holding the DNA test went viral. Fans paused the video, zoomed in, enhanced it, and began matching the visible code on the document to standard lab formatting. Reddit threads appeared overnight with self-proclaimed experts deconstructing what the paper could possibly say. 1. "I always thought she was real. They tried to tell us not to become involved, but this is more than just television. This is the actual life of Erica. The truth is something the baby deserves. She was right all along." Mona Scott-Young, who is typically quick to post or make statements, was eerily silent. Reports started to circulate that VH1 had entered a lockdown phase on all internal footage access and that editors were being asked to sign new non-disclosure agreements. Her voice broke mid-sentence. In the meantime, Mendeecees' mother reportedly flew into Atlanta under the radar, and paparazzi captured a blurry photo of her entering a private back door at the studio lot. Some speculated she was there to support her son, while others thought she had questions. Production meetings were rescheduled to off-site locations, and insiders whispered to blogs that legal teams were frantically preparing in case the footage leaked. The real DNA test aired, or Erica filed a lawsuit. According to one blogger, she asked a producer directly, "Why is my family being pulled through this?" This wasn't just about reality TV anymore. It had become a cultural conversation, with podcasts devoting entire episodes to it and radio shows debating whether networks had a moral obligation to tell the truth when it involved children and families who signed off on that edit. Story went viral despite being unverified, and fans praised her for speaking up even though it was late. By this point, even casual viewers were invested. Back in the studio, tensions were high. The reunion taping had been postponed twice, and cast members were reportedly told not to make any public statements, but Bambi was overheard telling a stylist, "I'm not walking out there to defend a lie." Lawyers began posting TikTok outlining the types of legal options Erica might have, with the general consensus being that she had a real case for defamation and emotional damages if she had the original test and could prove the deception. "I'll leave if they don't let Erica talk." According to a production assistant, Kirk and Rashidita attempted to mediate the reunion by proposing that it be reorganized as an open forum to allow. Producers were hesitant because they were afraid of what could be said. On a live mic, Tasha never slowed down. She released a new piece of content, a 15-minute documentary-style breakdown of the entire scandal. She took viewers through the timeline from the season's first episode to the alleged reshoot of the DNA scene, overlaying footage with receipts, adding commentary, and ending it with a haunting message. If they can lie about this, what else have they lied about? Erica posted a clip from what appeared to be a hidden camera in her dressing room, shocking even the most cynical fans. In the video, a producer says, "We need to reshoot," as he walks in with a manila packet. "It's only to be clear. Don't worry, this one's better for your arc." Erica looks perplexed. "But this isn't the same test," she says. The man pauses. The clip ends there, but the message was clear. They were guiding the narrative. Though not because of a statement from him, Mendeecees' name trended again, after discovering that he had shared a non-deleted Instagram story the day of the purported second shot with the message, "Not everything needs to be on camera." Fans started piecing together timeframes. People started calling for him to speak up, to defend Erica or deny the accusations. And they saw screenshots and the timestamp, which they assumed was his subtle way of acknowledging the switch. However, he remained silent, with no tweets, no lives, and no appearances, and this only fueled the fire. His silence was interpreted as guilt, and Erica was done waiting. "I'm not perfect, but I didn't lie. I didn't fake that test. I didn't agree to anything but the truth, and they took that from me," she said in a 30-minute vlog that she posted to her YouTube channel, complete with scanned documents, a timeline, and emotional commentary. Fans sobbed in the comments section, and thousands of messages flooded in, thanking her for speaking up, apologizing for doubting her, and demanding that VH1 issue a public apology. Erica concluded the video with a shaky breath and a direct message. The screen went black, but the movement she had started was just getting started. The momentum behind Erica's story refused to slow down. And as the days went by, the narrative only got louder, sharper, and harder to contain. Fan accounts began sharing side-by-side footage of the aired DNA test scene and the leaked behind-the-scenes clips. In the aired version, Erica sits rigidly, eyes scanning the paper before she forces out a sigh. It looked like disbelief, but now it read more like she is clearly uncomfortable in the leaked clip, holding a completely different envelope with her lips pressed together so tightly that they turned pale. To make matters worse, her stylist was heard whispering off camera, but obviously in the room, "That's not the envelope from earlier." The disparity between the two scenes was startling, and the internet did what it does best. It analyzed every frame. pointing out differences in makeup, lighting, and even minor adjustments to the envelope's label. One fan shared a slowed down comparison in which the original envelope had a barcode at the bottom, but the one that was televised did not. In the end, fans weren't just reacting. They were mobilizing. Twitter was inundated with calls for boycotts. Love and Hip Hop's official page was inundated with comments every time they posted something unrelated. And even other cast members started to distance themselves from the network. Scrappy posted a vague message about truth over edits and unfollowed the official VH1 account. Carly Red liked one of Erica's emotional posts and then deleted all of her own reunion promotional photos. A fan went even further and pointed out the shadows behind the couch in both shots, indicating that the aired version had been shot hours or even days later. The tension within the studio was unbearable, and the network's silence was causing more harm than any public statement could. Insiders whispered that producers were arguing in the editing bay, trying to figure out how to put together a reunion episode that didn't look like a complete cover-up. But every attempt at a clean narrative was being sabotaged by new leaks. It was obvious that someone, or perhaps several people, inside the studio had decided to flip as raw clips continued to appear, along with voice notes from production meetings, notes scrawled on call sheets, and even a scheduled change notice that revealed the original DNA scene had been discarded and replaced 2 days later. Then came the voicemail that completely flipped the situation, sending an anonymous message to a gossip blog and posting it within hours. Only 3 people knew the truth, and the voicemail shook everyone. People had joked that the envelope was fake, but no one expected confirmation that it had been designed that way. Erica, now fully in control of the platform, didn't flinch. The message contained a voice that fans quickly recognized as a longtime crew member. They paid a lab to create a duplicate report. The lab was a prop design agency out of New Jersey, and the second test was something Erdogan manufactured to look legitimate. In her subsequent video, she replied, "I have the real lab name, and soon, so will you." She didn't elaborate or cry. She just said that she wasn't done yet. Within minutes, fans started looking for local Atlanta DNA clinics to see which one had performed the original test. Someone said that they matched the document formatting to a clinic in Midtown. The clinic received a ton of calls but declined to comment, citing patient confidentiality. Still, the pressure was mounting. "All right, I never asked for any of this." He started adding, "I didn't read anything. I trusted what I was given, and I regret that." The video ended after 15 seconds, but the damage was done. Fans were split, with some viewing it as a confession and others as damage control. Everyone knew it was only a matter of time until something gave. But then Mendeecees reappeared out of nowhere. He posted a blurry black and white video to his Instagram story, just a close-up of his face in the dark with bloodshot eyes and a low voice. In any case, it was the first time he had spoken, and the internet jumped on every word. Yandwi then posted an image of a broken mirror with a caption that read, "Truth cuts both ways." It was ambiguous, moody, and cryptic, but fans were sick of riddles and wanted answers, so hashtags demanding that Yandi speak directly went viral. There were rumors that she had been aware of the phony results but had kept quiet to protect her family. Nevertheless, she said nothing more. The show's credibility was hanging by a thread. Advertisers reportedly began withdrawing their mid-season sponsorships. And one longtime partner posted a no-deleted tweet stating they were reevaluating future involvement with the show. At the same time, a popular gossip site published a screenshot of what appeared to be the entertainment industry was rocked by the announcement that Erica's legal team was getting ready to file a formal complaint against the network, accusing VH1 of defamation, emotional distress, and purposefully misrepresenting a paternity test to harm Erica's reputation. No one had ever challenged a network this publicly and with this much evidence. But Erica wasn't done yet. She had been transformed from a cast member to a symbol of truth being manipulated for ratings. And people weren't letting it go as the pressure mounted. Organized a private screening event in Atlanta that invited a select group of bloggers, journalists, and even former cast members to watch unreleased footage from her time on the show. Naturally, Tasha K was in the front row. The screening concluded with a never-before-seen clip of Erica confronting a producer in her trailer, and the room reportedly fell silent. One blogger later wrote, "I've covered scandals." She is seen holding the two envelopes side by side, clearly shaken, and says incredulously, "You lied to me. You played with my child's life." Although I've seen sloppy editing before, this one was unique. A woman was being used as a prop in this instance. And she is finally reclaiming her authority. The following day, the video went viral, and fans dubbed it Erica's redemption. Within 3 days, petitions calling for VH1 to issue a public apology had amassed over 200,000 signatures. YouTube users were downloading reunion trailers, and comment sections were replete with the same phrase, "We believe Erica." The studio lights flickered above the reunion stage as usual. But this time, the glow felt different, and the truth, no matter